Is it really true that you hold the record for volume squirting?
Yes.
Whoa.
I set the record and I have kept the record.
How do you know?
The world record.
Was
Tiana helped me plan it. She measured the squirt. That was
So, okay,
the best moments of my life.
volume squirting, is it the amount or the distance you shot it?
Volume. So it's not the velocity.
What, bruh? Volume, velocity, whatever.
I don't have
That's
control
what I was
over my
asking.
velocity.
Bro, the fuck is your problem, Weezy?
Nothing. You're not even looking at me. Just go, dude. And take it off the TV so Mandii can't see what I'm doing. Please.
No, keep it here, sir.
Volume means
50-50. I'll call the lawyer if we have to break this tie. Okay? Keep it up there on the goddamn TV. But volume is amount.
Amount, yeah.
How much you squirted?
So I did it. So it's not a Guinness record because Guinness is a family organization, but I did it by Guinness standards, which means I use the unit of milliliters. So
But who'd you compare it to?
what?
Who do you compare it to know you hold the record?
So no one had it. So I emailed Guinness. I signed up. I like all the forms and they're like, sorry, we're a family organization. We don't do that. So basically did some researching. If I have enough journalists, witnesses, I'll have it. But I did it to Guinness standards. So within Guinness, you do things within a 1 minute, 2 minute, or 60-minute period. Not doing 60.
Yeah.
So I did 1 minute period and then measured it. The stipulations were of only the assistance of one's person. So meaning my hand. So no toys, no partners.
Whose stipulation was that?
Me. Just my hand. Yeah.
I was like, they were like, we're a family organization, but hey, we will let you know.
We will send someone.
So do you have to film it for it to be like, how do you prove it?
Yeah.
You had to film it?
Well, I did film it. It was on a documentary for Epix called Sex Life, but I had an event because I don't do things small. So I had a kinky carnival with about 300 people that were there. We reached capacity, which I didn't think would happen. So sorry to the people that were waiting outside. But I had a whole event and there was the culmination. The witnesses were there. Usually you have like a Guinness person.
Yeah.
It's going to be for Guinness. But yeah, there were enough witnesses, journalists, it's on TV.
How much did you have to drink prior to this event?
So, and I do squirting performances as well. And when I do this, I like prep my body, but I really think it's all mental because I drink a lot of water, but I'm also peeing for the next like 3 hours afterwards. And I've been like dehydrated and then squirted a lot. So I drank a decent amount of water to make sure there was like ample water ready in my body.
pee.
No.
Hey, bruh, we ain't gonna do this the whole episode, bruh.
But like,
Hey, nah, bruh, I got beef right now with you.
so do I.
Should we
Because
address it now?
This is like
We done talked about
this is a
squirting.
constant conversation.
We have definitely
to the
talked
point where if someone brings up squirting, we talk about it, right? Tell us the contrast with why, because obviously in order to squirt, you need to be hydrated. But at the same time, how is
Actually,
it?
no.
But they say that you're unable to even have your vagina be lubricated, to even be wet if you're dehydrated. So you're drinking water. You said you're normally...
You just need patience.
I was about to say, I disagree with that only because we've also talked about drinking liquor does dehydrate your body. But just because I'm drunk or just because I've been drinking doesn't necessarily mean that I won't be wet that night.
So I'm
It
not
may
talking about
affect
fluids.
my
I'm talking about
wetness.
water.
Well,
Yeah,
how much percentage of our bodies are water? It's like something ridiculous.
Something like the earth, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like
Yeah,
80%
But I'm
water
saying
or something. No?
Saying it's not pee, right? Like, so when people say that it's urine, even when they're testing squirt, there is some urine in there. Like, just let's talk about how it's not, because you said it's
She
not.
said we gonna talk
we
about
had a
this
doctor
right now.
on that said it
despite my outline.
was.
Do you,
Well,
do you
let's
see
not-
that?
we
Do
had
you
a-
see this shit edit?
What do you
Hey,
mean? What
man.
is so crazy about what I'm doing right now?
Well, we'll talk, like, firstly, it's squirt. That's why we call it squirt. Otherwise, we'd call it sexy pee.
Okay.
If we're going to talk about, like, the research
Sexy pee.
that goes into it, a lot of, like, even it's a doctor, the research that goes into squirting, the studies like have a control of like 10 people or something. And
Okay.
like if it's the ones where it's like, let's see if everyone can squirt. It's like, well, how are you stimulating these people? Are you recognizing that each person has their own like learned experience with their body? But for what it constitutes of, I think that when we're studying squirting, we should be studying people who reliably squirt. But that's hard to do within a control.
Now, with the porn stars, like we interviewed, I can't remember her name. It was really early on, but she said that squirting porn stars were drinking mad water, right? And in that point, is squirting on command pee? Like, can you squirt on command and it actually be squirt? Or are those instances actually pee?
So I have, and maybe I can bring them on in the future, but I have had submissives where I have peed in their mouth and then squirted in their mouth and like gone back and forth. And it's physically like a different experience. I feel like it's similar to like people with penises when they're like going from pee mode to cum mode and they have to like rejigger their body. It was different.
Really like
and
that you just used that analogy.
Yeah.
Because like there is a difference between a man jizzing on you and a man peeing on you.
Yeah. And they both come out of the urethra.
What's the difference with the consistency
of pee and squirt
that you've noticed when you did it?
The consistency of it coming out isn't very dissimilar. The smell is different. The look of it is different. I've collected it in cups. The people that have drank it can tell you it's different.
And the color sometimes
it's
of course
cloudier.
Different.
They're both warm coming out of the body. When it sits for a while, then the smell of it can take something on different. But I always say when I squirt, it smells like cereal milk. Like it smells kind of oaty.
Oh, wait, what type of cereal?
Like
Are you
brand
vegan?
cereal. No.
Huh.
But so I was teaching this class once and this woman came up to me afterwards. She's like, hey, I'm a midwife. And what you're describing that your squirt smells like is similar when like people, their water breaks and they're like, call her and they're like, hey, did my water break? And she's like, smell it. If it smells like pee, you peed. If it smells like wheat, then your water broke. You're going to be in labor.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I was about to say gluten. Your pussy got gluten.